Okay.
Hey.
Okay, let me check
Hello.
if the YouTube is actually working here. Yes, it appears so.
Hey.
Yeah. Great. Okay, we are live.
We are live. That's
We're
so
live.
cool.
Okay.
So I think hello. It's a good start.
Yep.
Hello everyone. Hello, Rumo.
谢谢.
Um,
Hello, Martina.
Hello. So I will start presenting a bit who we are and the concept of this collective. And yeah, so I'm here with Renato, my friend from Tongji, which is a university in China. That's where we met. And I don't know if you want to present me or how
Yep.
do we do that?
But I can start with you. Okay, so yeah, we met in Tangi. This is Martina. She's a designer. She studied in Tangi, but also in France. Think about it, so many things. And she's also Italian, but only as half a joke.
Yeah, just some Italian background, but not really. I'm actually Ecuadorian.
Yeah.
That's the real truth. Not French, not Italian, Ecuadorian. Yeah. And Rumo, he is Italian, 100%, and he does international relations. And it's very funny because we actually didn't met because of our studies. The only thing that was actually bringing us together was the Chinese course we had together in Shanghai. So back then it was 2023, 2024. And so we started having this course, and then we had a friendship that was created there. And turns out we have some ideas that were in common, even though we have different backgrounds. As Rumo said, I am a designer and he's international relations. Yeah, studying this. And yeah, I think then we started talking about not only like economy and politics, but also about the social part that is very interesting that also comes with this. And we wanted to write a manifesto about the users. That was like the main idea in the beginning. But then it evolved and it shipped out, and then we kind of like we wrote many things and then it kind of like stopped because also we came back to Europe, and then we had our graduations and other projects coming in. But I think one of the things that was actually very striking was that while we were living in China was a bit wide opening, because being in this context in which I'm in China, it's so much anchored with technologies and like things that we don't usually get to experience in everyday life, at least for me and like for us, I think in Europe. It was a bit like living in a fiction, like in fiction reality. And this is so much connected to the digital world, and our concept actually has so much to do with this kind of questionings. So I think that's how the concept of userism was born. And so 2 years after, as I was saying, because this was into 2024, we decided to take back the project a bit and to start putting a bit the ideas a bit clearer. And we decided to do a website in which we would explain the concept of userism. We're going to go back to this in a bit. And then also to kind of like invite and welcome the people to, I don't know, that are interested in these ideas as well. So yeah, I think that was mostly like 2 years after we took back the project, and here we are. That's what we're doing now.
Yes, and as Martina said, the most important thing that we realized is that we cannot do this alone. So we launched a website because the website is the best way to have an independent access to everybody else. So whoever is curious can just go check the website that we we'll do eventually in this live stream.
Or we're going to go through the website anyways in a bit, so we can explain that better.
And whoever is curious can also join the collective, because joining the collective doesn't mean that you are like, you have to pay anything or stuff like that. No, joining the collective is just saying, hey, I am available if we need to think together about these things. And it's not just, of course, us that can say, hey, we're going to think about this or that, because the collective is on equal ground for everyone. So if you join, we are going to discuss together about userism. Of course, let's say that the basic threshold is that we're all interested in this matter, and we all kind of agree with what userism stands for. So
actually, one of the reasons we decided to do this was like because users are a bit scattered, and the idea to have a collective is to bring them together. So yes. I think we can start explaining what
userism is.
What userism is, yeah, because otherwise it's a bit, yeah.
Okay, so userism is, okay, let's start from the beginning. Remember that Martina said that we wanted to write a manifesto. Why? Because we were thinking about the world's economy and how the world's economy has shifted in the recent years. So basically, we went from economy in Europe, which was heavily industrialized, and we use the rest of the world as an extraction base for our raw materials to then produce in Europe the products. This was not amazing for Europe because many people had to live in factories and work very hard. And then the things started to change because all these workers, they got together. They started to have the consciousness of the power they had, also because they fought in the wars and stuff like that. So there was kind of a balance in the 50s, 60s, 70s, right? So you got capitalism, but you got also the workers. And it kind of worked. Of course, the rest of the world were still being used for extraction. Then what happens? What happens is that all that work starts to go away, start to shift. And where does it go? Well, mainly in China, actually. And we were in China. So, of course, you go to China and you expect to see all these industries everywhere because they are producing everything that we have, right? The computer I'm using, the phone here, also the lamp behind Martina, probably. So you expect to see that Europe now is financial, is technological, is third sector economy, services and stuff like that. And China is like producing. And the rest of the world is still using for raw material extraction. But we go to China, we're in Shanghai, and we see something different. We see that Shanghai is the richest part of China, but there are no factory workers. There are no, like, of course, you would expect.
It's not in the city, and like what you actually find out is like something very technological and much more futuristic that you would expect.
Yes.
Yeah. Then we start questioning a bit.
We start questioning so much, how was it possible that wealth was being produced in a place where nothing was being produced? In fact, the most important thing that were in China were the malls, which are these super giant structures in which you can go and buy everything. And they don't have churches, they have a few temples, but they look almost like they are less important for the society in that part, or in this part of history. Which is actually interesting, and it's not something we want to judge, but it's something we want to understand. And so we said, like, maybe if the word first was like agriculture, extraction, factories, and so there were like all the workers. Now, on top of this pyramid, there's actually consumers like the one in Shanghai, consumers like the one in Europe, or the one in the United States. And these are people that, yes, work on services, but they don't strictly recognize themselves as part of a working mass. because everybody is doing a very specific job in a very specific sector. All these jobs change continuously, and then you got, of course, all the technology that goes very, very fast. And so these jobs are not something stable that can say, okay, I'm born in this factory, I'll die in this factory, I'm gonna, unionize and do things like that. Instead, consumption is what really keeps the society together now. And consumption in this moment is only possible in the way we know it because of digital. And so we were writing the consumerist manifesto. But after some months of confusion and writing, that actually became the Userist Manifesto. And then we dropped the manifesto idea completely.
Yeah, manifesto might come one day, but not now. It won't be like the consumers anymore, because the users
because now the users, because we realized in the digital society, in a technological society, the user is not just a consumer. It's actually something much, much more. And the fact that consumption is so easy, and that you don't need many workers to produce anymore, because of course you got robots, and in China, we know China is going super fast with robotics. So even in China, which is producing every year more and more, they are not actually increasing the workforce. They're reducing it because they're using robots. In Europe is the same, the United States is the same. So what is the thing here? We are seeing users that emerge not as a consequence of capitalism or as a consequence of consumerism or stuff like that. Users emerge because humans naturally, in production, in consumption, in leisure, and in any aspect of their life, they like abstraction. They like to go beyond physical constraints. They like to live in a world made of symbols, of ideas, because this is a world in which humans are superior. It's just ideas. It's just us. There is no nature, no physical limits. Is the reason why everybody finds it so natural to pick up a phone, and you don't feel forced to do it. Yes, of course, sometimes you feel like TikTok is making you addicted, or that a particular thing is making you addicted. Yes, but still, doing this, and here I can have everything I want. And then, of course, if TikTok manages to steal my attention, I'm going to just have TikTok. But I can have everything here. And I want this power. I want this freedom. So being a user is actually the most natural thing we can do as a next step in the evolution of humanity. And the beautiful thing is that users structurally don't need to work in the sense that we knew for so many years. We don't need to work to eat. We don't need to work to produce clothes, because machines can do it. And yes, still we are seeing a lot of workers, like talking about hundreds of millions of workers still in the world. But in an article that we'll check out in a few minutes, I will describe this like in the United States now. They are the largest. The United States is the largest exporter of agricultural food. Agriculture, and they are the third largest producer of agricultural goods. Can you guess how many people are working in the United States in the agricultural sector? Like 1.6%. 1.6% is one people every 60 people. One person every 60 people is working in agriculture, and that's enough for everybody else. And this is completely like flipping around what we knew since the Neolithic started 10,000 years ago, because everybody had to work their ass off to eat, and now we don't have to do it anymore. And in China, we're going in that direction. In Europe, we're going in that direction. Europe, we're already in that direction, actually. In China, we're going in that direction. In India, we're going in that direction. Every country is going in that direction, and factories are going in that direction as well. In Germany, which is producing still a lot of cars, still a lot of products, still a lot of robots and stuff. In the 70s, 50% of the population, of the working people, were factory workers or construction workers. Now it's something like 25% maybe. So we go from one half to one quarter. And in China, we are a third of the population is workers right now, and the number is declining, but the production is increasing. So you see where I'm going. That users don't need to structurally have to work, to have clothes, to have a house, to have food on their table. We can truly be free. Oh, I sound really distorted, somebody says. I have no idea how to fix that actually because I'm on my laptop, but I can go away, like here. So
That's okay.
keep going.
I think we should go and the website to explain
Yeah,
this better.
yeah.
Otherwise, yeah.
Do you need to
I
share?
don't know how we can. Should I share?
Yeah.
Okay. So let me here.
So while you figure out how to share, basically all these things that I'm saying, they are available in our articles. Today I finished writing the last article, right, like 1 hour ago. So the image and the structure and the page itself is not very clean to look at. We will work on it very soon, and you will see that two articles have the same image. But that's actually because we didn't have the time to pick a new one. So
that's okay. We're just building this. Like we actually launched the website not so long ago, and we are just uploading new things within this month. So yeah, it's an ongoing project.
And it's open source, so you can contribute if you want on GitHub.
Yeah. I think I'm sharing the screen. Would you like to check it?
Let's work through the people.
Yeah. So this is the website. It's called userism.net. So when you enter, this is how it looks like. And we have this is made by Userist Collective, which is the collective as well, because what we're explaining right now, it's the so right now we explain what Userism was. And now we're gonna go through the Userism website. And the Userist Collective is the collective of the users. So all power to the users, one bright future for all. Did you know that every time you scroll, click, or tap, you hold power? And you might ask, why? Well, a bit as Ruma was saying, before we were doing physical work, but right now with the technologies we have and with automation, it feels a bit less like work and much more like using or consuming. And this is not something necessarily bad, but it's something that we need to be aware of. So what's the digital gesture in all of this? It's that we have a potential to actually change the things as we know it, and consumption here becomes far more relevant than production. So this is what userism is about. It's about us being in our most powerful in the digital age, and control should be equally distributed across countries and societies, and it should not be an obstacle to potential progress. And that's why we believe that users should have the right to own this power, not necessarily big companies, and we should not be afraid of like how technology and progress is going on, and like doing some new updates and advances, or the consequences it should have. Because if we users have the power, and this is what Rumo calls actually userocracy, to be put in place, we can have actually something equal for everyone. So we describe a bit this here, and like this is a bit like the storytelling part, like why do we actually have power? And that's what we want to achieve with userism, like to raise this awareness that we are all users and we are all having power in a way, but this power is actually not taken into account because we are not doing collectively. So our idea is to bring this people together, like, and to change this in a collective way. Otherwise, it's not really possible. So here we have a bit the articles that we wrote. This one is actually written by both of us. What is Userism? And here you can find a bit more of what we think about this concept. And here there's the article Ruma was talking about, Power to the Users. I don't know if, Ruma, you want to... I mean, you already talked a bit about this one.
Yeah, and, exactly. We talked about it. Just like to add, if you can open it. So
this one?
No, the other one.
Yeah.
Yes. Yeah. So you can see it's pretty long, but it starts with this Neolithic, Zhengzhou, all these things. Even if they look amazing or like these stories, I mean, they are actually real. Okay, so I invented some characters, like I invented the ideal typical character, but all the data I use, it's there. You can. I mean, I will put references at some point. Just give me some time. Otherwise, the article would have never been. But these are all true things. Okay, for example, it's true that when I say robotics in Zhengzhou, there is this city in China. They produce all the iPhones basically, and it's Foxconn is the firm that literally assembles the iPhone. And when I wrote this article, I was thinking, oh my god, I'm gonna talk about the iPhone because I'm sure it's so much automated as a process. Because come on, it's Apple. Of course they have robots that do the things. No, actually, ironically, it's agriculture is much more automated than the assembly line of an iPhone. Because to assemble one iPhone, you need 1,000 people. And the reason you need 1,000 people is because machines, robots, are not good enough. They are not precise enough. And that's so funny if you think about it, because we're so used to think about robots that are so perfect. Instead, no. But Apple asked Foxconn, we need you to automate. We need you to cut the number of people needed for every supply line in half. And why is that? Not because of the cost. I mean, that's going to be a problem in the future anyway, because in China, cost of work is rising. But because of protests. Because in this Foxconn plant, you have 1,000 workers per line, and you have something like 90 assembly lines in parallel. So you're going to have like some 90,000 people working there. Or numbers are like this. I mean, I don't remember the actual ones, but it also depends on when the new iPhone is coming out and the base production. So when you got this much of workers, you actually see that automation becomes a way for the enterprise, for Apple in this case, to reduce the power of workers by reducing the number of workers. And you say you're now less essential because we have robots that can do your job. So you better stay quiet, because the ones of you that speak out, they are gonna go out because we don't need you anymore. And this is why betting on workers is not a safe bet if we want justice in this world. Because it's a process. It's not something we can stop. It's beautiful that we don't have to do what robots can actually do, right? So as Martina said, let's not be afraid of this process. Let's have courage. But to have courage, we also have to have intention and know that being users is our new identity. Not being workers, not being just consumers, that's part of it, but it's just a part of it. Being users is our new identity. And the only thing I would like to say, that if you go at the bottom of Power to the Users, A Bright Future, or at the bottom of Big Tech or Digital Democracy, in both cases, yes, here in this part here in this article, you can see that there are some examples of what we could actually aspire to do with all this data, with all this technological digital capital. And I would like to say that we're going to write a new article which is going to talk about it, which is going to be called "Imagination is All You Need." We'll talk about it more later, but
And for that one, I think we will do another live stream in which we can invite people who are interested to actually join the debate, which
Yeah.
can be very interesting as well. And
so we're actually going to have policy proposals, not just empty words. We're gonna have we want to say, hey, maybe we can do this, maybe we can do that. Sorry.
Yeah, the idea is to do it together, and so that leads us to the upcoming events, like the one we're having now, which is a bit to present. And every event we will be doing will be showing up in this event page. We can check it actually here in our event page. You can also propose some events, and as Rumo said, we can curate that together, and that would be showing up here. So the idea is to actually invite people and build things together, because how is it actually gonna be happening, this change in the user world? It will be by doing it together. That's why we are launching a collective. And for that, you can still read the articles here in the article page. You can explore the website on your own as well. Just join right now. And we have a projects page. I think it's interesting that we talk about this too, because here's a page that it's more like, it's not really a blog, not really like it's a bit ambiguous yet. But here we wanted to post actually things that we find interesting. For example, here we found a manifesto, and was actually interesting because we wanted to do a manifesto in first place one time. It's a manifesto that was written in 1996 by John Perry Barlow, and actually describes a bit what we are experiencing right now, like 30 years later. And it talks about like this cyberspace being immaterial and goes beyond control, beyond ownership, that bit what Rumo was saying, who has this power about these relations and things related to technology. And he talks about governments in the industrial world that are very giants of flesh and steel, and they come, and he says that he comes from cyberspace, which is this new home of mind, a bit what we are experiencing with the digital now. And he criticizes a bit this, and and the reason I posted this here was because it's actually very much in resonance with our ideas. So these, for example, are not our projects, but they are things that we think are conveying userism, like the concept of userism in a way, and it's things that already exist. So these ideas already exist. And then after that, I think we also will be posting our projects. For now, there's none yet, but it will be coming. We have a few ideas, and we will be posting that in a few weeks as well. Of course, it's open to everyone who want to share their projects as well. We can also put them here.
It goes the same with the events, because if you have events in mind, like gatherings that you would like to do in your city, or live streams about specific topics, if you are willing to work for it, we are here to help you out and do it together. And project is the same. And I also would like to add a very small thing about this, because it's probably right now is the most confused page, as Martina said, is a very ambiguous, but I think it's the most beautiful one, because it shows that there's a world out there that already thinks about these things. Of course, we are not special, but I think it's also important that when we share these things, we also share what, like through the lens of userism. For example, this manifesto that Martina was sharing, or John Perry Barlow, I read it through and I found it very interesting, very powerful. At the same time, I noticed something which is distinctively uh, distinguished from our perspective, because John Perry Barlow had let's say a more libertarian US kind of view of the cyberspace. So it was like, here everybody can finally be free on a very individual level.
Which is not the real thing that is happening today, and that's also like something that they are talking about in this. For example, this other reference that I also uploaded here, which is a conference, and they're saying exactly that it's not the actual future that we were promised in a way with the internet as well, because John Perry Barlow was actually a bit discussing about the internet at the time, because when this manifesto came out was when the internet was coming out as well. And the things that we were expecting when internet came out, for example, are not the things that we are experiencing today. This is a conference by Nexus, which is an institute in Torino, I think, is it? And they hold this conference in Amsterdam.
Similar name, but it's another one.
Okay. Then it's Nexus, it's an institute. And there were like some people invited with like politics and researchers, and they were debating about this. It's an interesting conference as well. So it resonates a bit with the John Perry Barlow manifesto.
So yes, and I think just to close this little exchange, it's clear today that the thing we need the most is collective action, solidarity among users. We cannot be independent on our own, because that way we're just paving the way for the organized structures of power to take control of all data and all of the internet. And also, hi to our people that are watching. There are 2 people commenting. You are the best.
I think we can. If we have an arena page in which like everyone can post references as well, if you like. So that's nice. I don't know if you go to Userism, and then here, for example, you have like more things that are related as well, that also some other people already shared with us. And I think if you want to know a bit more about how you can reach us, you can go to the About page and you can find our contacts here. And you can subscribe to our newsletter as well.
Yeah, if you subscribe to the newsletter, it won't be a huge spam in your inbox. It's just going to be 2 emails.
I don't think so. No.
Maximum, maybe 1 email every month. We are going just to update you on everything we're going to do. And if you are part of the collective instead, we are going to reach out with you in different way to have a more, real-time exchange.
Yeah. And then there's the social media as well here in the down page, where you can also check updates, not really directly from the website, but from the...
Yes. So I think that we covered basically everything. Of course, you are free to explore the website. You're free to read the articles. There is nothing much more to say, except that really this is, I think, the time of action, of doing things together, and recognizing that users have power in this society. They just have to imagine ways in which they can use it, because they have leverage. We have leverage. We have leverage because everything we do produces data, and this is our actions that do it. Okay, and all the things we decide to click on, all the attention we give to platforms, this is our action as well. So we determine what matters and what doesn't in the digital world. If we can organize and we can imagine ways to do it, to organize, we can really shift the leverage of power here. We can really have a new balance in which companies cannot decide everything for us, and we decide most. on what we actually want to do for ourselves, right? So
Yeah.
join us. You can write to collective@userism.net, an email, and you can find this is the straightforward way to join the collective. Joining the collective is very, very easy. It's just this. It's just saying, hey, I'm here and I want to help you out. Maybe we'll do I don't know, a Discord if it's not controversial, or we do something to stay together, to engage and have some meetings, regular meetings, stuff like that. We still have to decide on many, many things. But if you're part of it, we can.
And I think it's a subject that interests actually a lot of people, but we're not willing to take this kind of like leap of faith, like this jump into say like, okay, I'm committing to do something like for these actual thing that I care about, because it can feel scary. Honestly, it's not really easy at the same time. It's understandable, but it's just a matter of saying like, hey, I want to engage in this thing I think I care about, and I think there's something very nice in not doing it alone, because you feel that you're actually doing it together, and that's the beautiful part, I think, as well.
Yes. So I think we're done. Thank you so much, everyone. Of course, we are in the Q&A. If you have any question, please write it now in chat. We give you 10 seconds. 20. And yes, so Shesha Martina, because she coded a lot. And yesterday
you did as well.
At 1 a.m. I was writing the article and she was finishing coding the website. So see that we are very, very into this thing, and if people want to join and help, that would be appreciated, and we could sleep some more. I think I will not think about
but also I think we
now.
Yeah. No, I think, I mean, it will keep growing. We just want to share this, that it's just starting. So
yeah, it's starting. Okay, everybody, no questions. So thank you, everybody, and see you soon. Next live stream, we're going to talk about imagination is all we need, which is the article we're going to write together.
Yep.
Bye. Oh, sorry, but I'll talk to you in person. Commento idiota. Okay, thank you, commento idiota. You have a few questions, but I'll talk to you in person. Va bene. Talk in person then. Which is not a very user-like experience, right? People are still real. That's amazing. Okay, bye then.